G'day guys, how we doing? We are back, Barbie, same way we left off, and I've got two little dogs wanting some coats on them. But today's going to be a quick fire session. So we're in here fast, we're out of here fast, but I want to throw around some paint before I disappeared, which I think's pretty fun, pretty fair. Excusez-moi. Le plan is to do a little bit of a wild coat on Barbie, but after that, I need to dash off to go down to the town to send some artwork off. It's boxed up, it's ready to go, but I need to go send it. So we're waiting on me. Excuse the noise of my plates rattling around. Ooh. Here we go. Grab this plate for a bit of fun. This is a square plate. How wild. And I'm going to chuck pink on Barbie. God forbid. Who would have guessed? Pink on Barbie? Ridiculous. Hello, Kelly. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the roses. You were a lovely individual. Speaking of roses, lots of pink. Except this one still has a cap on it. That's annoying. Give me a second. Does it? It thinks it does, but it doesn't. There's a cap that's caught inside it. I need to get it out. Here we go. Luna, as per usual, you are on fine form. Getting in fast. There we go. Lid back on there. A little bit down there. And should we dabble into some reds? I want that deep magenta. That's the one I'm after. There we go. Just to balance out those crazy tones. A little bit of white. Here we go. Shirt so white, afraid of getting paint on it? Of course I am. Terrified every single time. But I like it to live. I like to live dangerously. No, I like how it makes you try and control your art more. Tries to make you put it in the right directions. Tries to make you, well, provided you can get control everywhere else in your studio, it allows you to put it straight on the canvas, I find. Otherwise, you end up painting for what, 4 hours? And after a painting session, there's paint everywhere, except on the one place you wanted to get it. So, white's good. White's good. It's a little bit baggy actually. It's actually a hand-me-down. Oh, almost got coffee on it. That would have been embarrassing. Hello Joe, how you doing? And Victoria, welcome back. Victoria, are you on a new picture again? No, I recognise this one. Thanks, Kelly. You're absolutely lovely. This coffee's not great. I didn't do well the second time around. Now, I was going to go out and do some painting outside today. I should be. But I've left my time a little bit short. I was trying to get live studio working, and I failed dismally. So, I thought before I dash off, I'll at least do a little bit with you guys. Same one. Fair enough. Costa Rican coffee is the best. Look, as long as it's got crema, I'm a happy boy. That's all I need. Kelly, you're a fantastic individual. I'm glad I jumped on the live today and ran into you, Kelly. Good to have you here. Right, deep magenta best. Let's check that up there. Let's just spin this around slightly for me. Bear with me. There we go. Hope that's nice there. It's very brave. It's very brave. Silly, some would say. Silly. But I like it. There we go. Do a little bit through here. Yeah, a little bit down here. Big strokes on Barbie too. Don't want little strokes. Big strokes. There we go. This is that, I think I said it earlier, but soft-bodied acrylics. Soft-bodied acrylics are fun because they don't leave any texture behind, so they're great for base layers. Here we go. Straight into the pink. This is vibrant pink. There we go. Beautiful. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you. Kelly Q, already out of here. Kelly, you only just got here. Oh, you have to go back to work. I gotcha. Alright, Kelly. Catch you later. Thanks for popping in. It's when you come on late like this, you catch people off guard. There we go. Swirl around some of these beads. And down in here. Thanks, Darren. A soft-bodied acrylic. So, Victoria, a soft-bodied acrylic is one that has the same amount of pigment, if not a little bit more, but its texture's a lot more like water. And so it's got less of those PVA glues and other compounds inside it. I say PVA glues, that's quite a broad term. It's got less stuff in it, more powerful pigment, and it lands with very little texture. So when you apply it, it's literally just pigment to canvas. That's all it does. Pigment to canvas, which is what you'd think you'd want from all paints, but a lot of the time, oils and acrylics have a bunch of different things you can use them for. This is the most raw, colour applying type of paint you can get. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you. Look. It's usually not used in art classes, Victoria, because it is more expensive, because since it's got more pigment in it, you can use it up a lot faster. It just comes out like water, concentrated water. A little bit thicker than that actually, like a caramel sauce. You know how normal acrylic paint's quite thick. This has got more of a gravy texture. Is that fair? That's fair. Hello, Darren. Alright, golden. Golden's a term that Kiwis use. I probably just said it just then. Golden means all good. And I say it very, very often, so get used to that. Splash around this face here a little bit. There we go. Will. No, I was tossing up though. Am I going to go out for a walk, or am I going to stay here with you guys and do a painting set before I dash out of the house? It's clear that the painting set won, but there was a 50-50 there for a wee bit. There we go. And a little bit down through here. So you can see how this paint just goes straight on there. And we're sacrificing, as per usual, we're sacrificing that form that we've got and trading it in for a bunch more expression. I feel like this one needs more of that. There we go. You think you know her? This is Barbie, so you might. There we go. Let me have a look at it from back here. Yeah, so we're adding the right colours. Popping things. No mistakes to be made here. This is going to add a lot of life to it. There we go. And up around here. Beautiful. I can't speak that language, but it's good to have you here. And I think I just got a little bit of paint on my nose. Paint alive. There we go. Beautiful. just want you to know. Here we go. More popping colour. Big scoops of salmon. That's what I'm after. What else are we going to do here? Just through here. I find whites are always fun to use. Backwards and forwards. You open up with these intense blacks. You bounce back to whites. Sort of seesawing. Backwards and forwards between these two. Pretty fun. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate you. Like I say, big bold colours in the face. Sacrificing definition now. But getting a whole lot more fun. Here we go. Up through here. Lovely. Up through here. Lovely. Yeah, the magenta's got some fun to it, Vic. We've actually probably underutilised the pinks we should have been using. We had way too much plain colours in this picture, which was fine. We were building it up, but it needs more fun. So, excuse me, itchy nose. So we need more fun. Magentas. Here we go. And a little bit down through there, there, and there. Jeepers. We got something pulling up. A big crane nearby. Can never have too much pink. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Maybe this picture will test that theory. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get a little bit more in here. Lovely. Where else are we going to go? Just down through here. Beauty. Get more of that tan. More tan. Let's get a little bit of that through here. Lovely. Built like a... Actually, it's 85-year-old Barbie. She's built like plastic, and it's fantastic. But you can brush her hair. So they say. I wonder what that crane's for. It's a crane that's pulled up outside. Love to know what it's for. Here we go. And let's chuck a bit more through here and down in here. Lovely. Up in here. Oh yes. More of those tans. Yum, yum, yum. Beautiful. Hello, user. How you doing? Thanks, Wendy, and hello, Ethan. We've got a clan here now. All 70 of us. Whole bunch of folks here to watch Barbie be made. Or unmade. Who knows? Been quite messy right now. And we need some more. I didn't grab them earlier, but some blacks wouldn't hurt. Blue? You need a username. Unless that's a very specifically picked out number. And user could be part of a, you know, dial at home. Imagine if your name was user. And like, it was you were just giving a hard time from everyone on every platform. Being like, change your name. You'd be like, it is my name. You're a rough way. Yeah. A little more in there. And see how we're getting more and more wild and belligerent with our brush strokes. Just capturing more colours in it. Toning back those irregular colours. Ha! Thanks, Stu. It's always good to have you here. Statue of Liberty. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. That would be pretty fun. I have been lining up a few extra statues. I haven't decided on one yet, but I can add Statue of Liberty to the mix. Currently, I've been steering down the barrel of, after Alexander the Great, looking at Augustus, also known as Octavian. Roman Emperor. So greedy, in fact, that he has 2 months named after him. October and August. I mean, talk about greedy. Get one. How can we get two? Will I add yellow? Let me stand back and have a look-see. Probably not. I think yellow will appear a little bit on the flesh of the face, but I doubt it will make a massive appearance. In fact, I think it suits being something that sits back a little bit in this picture. Yellow will make the pinks come off warm rather than spunky. I want spunky pinks, not warm pinks. There we go. Although I want her to look flamboyant and fun, I don't want her to seem like she's got this artificial warmth to her. Am I saying that right? Can you make Alexander new version? Can I make Alexander new version? We won't make Alexander new version. So, Alexander's one off. There's only one Alexander the Great. We might do him again in a very different way, but down the line, there's so much to capture in between. The point of that is, if I was to do Alexander the Great again, he might come out the same, which would be terrifying, because now you've turned a piece of artwork into a piece of craft. How can you purchase an original if the artist just goes around and goes, right, that was successful, I'll do that again? I think you purchase art because in a small way we know that even the artists themselves is unable to replicate what you've just got your hands on. It exists once for that part of the journey, and then you're moving on. I think that's beautiful. So even if I could replicate it, I wouldn't, if that makes sense. And if you think of something like Starry, Starry Night, though Van Gogh did a lot of pictures of the night, there's only one Starry, Starry Night. We don't want to. We don't want Van Gogh to try and make two. It just wouldn't be right. It just needs to be one. Thanks. Clever. Is it clever? Am I stupid because I didn't get there fast enough? Probably. Anyway, here we go. A little bit down through here. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair. Let's go a little bit here. Break it down. Steely blues, baby. Steely blues. See how powerful these colours are? Now we've got those bold colours in the background. We can just come right over the top with these steely blues and just start adding some additional wildness into here. There we go. Lovely. Hello. Beautiful. Hello, Jay. How we doing? Welcome back. And persimmon? No. Thanks, Trina. You can brush my hair. I don't think her hair can be brushed, actually. I'm making that comment because it's part of the song, but honestly, I feel like her hair's been done up, and if you brushed it, you'd only stand to ruin it. So, don't brush this Barbie's hair, please. There we go. Beautiful. Bro is always painting in white. Actually, we're painting our greens and pinks at the moment. I like painting in white though. Painting in white's fun. This shirt's already ruined though. It's a trick. If I come close here, do you see it in here? These little droplets? I sprayed myself already. So it's all a big old lie. You're sitting here thinking like, oh, he thinks he's cool wearing white. I've already stained it. It's too late. Shirt's ruined. Be better. Sort it out, Sebastian. Here we go. How can I start painting, Evan? Well, honestly, first off, don't judge yourself too much. Just make a start. First step to being good at something is being not so good at it. And honestly, you're probably a lot more better at it than you need to be to make a start. All you need to do, get yourself some painting supplies and start doing it. Maybe twice a week, if you can fit that in. Twice a week, 3 times a week. However many times you can fit in, and make sure that when you do it, it's rejuvenating, not exhausting. If it's exhausting, it's a habit you'll quit. People who practice instruments and give up is because the actual practice itself was grueling and they hated it. People who actually become masters of instruments find a certain element of therapy in actually playing the instrument, or at least that's how I come to understand it. If your craft doesn't vitalize you, you'll eventually drop it as soon as you get tired. But if your craft's what provides you with energy, when things get tough in life, what are you going to do? Fall back on it to revitalize yourself. And things will get tough. And so, that's where it gets pretty important to have a craft that you're confident to fall back on. To charge you up before you head off into this big old crazy world. Here we go. This has gone pretty fun. We've exploded the colours in this shot, that's for sure. Here we go. A little bit more of this. I think we'll chuck in a bit more. Do I have it here? White. There we go. Beautiful. Thanks, Freddie. Hello, Pablo. Good to have you here. Alright, let's get silly with a bit of this white. So I've combined those regular colours we're already using, those pinks and those magentas, into an absolute sea of white. And now we're going to let that just cascade over the top. Again, guys, remember, we're sacrificing definition in favour of getting this colour palette in a better place. We haven't lost too much of the face yet, but we will. We will. We're not prioritising saving the character here, but more just capturing the colours that make her. Here we go. A little bit through here. A little bit through here. Beautiful. Get a zoom. Haha, yes, of course you can. Once I create a bit more of a mess. Big. There we go. The difference between this one and the other works we've done as well is this one here doesn't have any transparency to it. It's thick, clayey colours, one over the next. Pastel-y, but just one over the next. So there's not this layering of tones. It's a very, very raw piece in that sense. Maybe I should layer some tones. Maybe. But I'm liking it. And it's matte-like style. There we go. In fact, Victoria, you stand to gain very, very little from a zoom, in fact, because the colours are just like clay on top of each other. But I'll show you. I will show you. Let's get that there. And that one there. Right, let me show you. So, just like I was saying, clay-like colours. Let's go right up into the top corner there. Here we go. Just right where we were. Coming on in, coming on in, coming on in. And you can see how these are just giant lugs of colour. That's what we're dealing with. Big old tongue licks of colour. So we come on out. See more of them? See there? Big tongue licks. Very little form in them, but much more about the actual expression that they're grabbing. So when you come out, a picture generates. But only through these tongue licks. These confused, giant, expressive movements. That's what we're after. There we go. Let me just angle that there. There we go. Alright. Still going on these colours actually. We got a whole bunch left. Here we go. Here we are. Coming in close to this face here. Now this here chisels in there more than I currently had. And down through here. The aqua's making a difference in there, isn't it? It's fun. There we go. It's I think we'll just keep on adding colours too, because I think with a Barbie, Vic, I don't think we have to worry about overdoing the colour palette. Although I'm going to avoid some shades, like a lot of those yellow light colours, still, inside the work, we can have a lot of fun with every single hue of purple, blue and red. I like that. I like that. Here we go. Bit more of this. There we go. Going for coverage there. Grab the last little bit straight down here. Maybe I'll loop through there. There we go. Beautiful. Dropping back that turquoise a little bit. It's okay. We will miss it, but we can bring it back. We can bring any colour back. Moment's notice. Your new favourite. That's good. It is a bit of a wild one. It's off the piece of what we usually do here. But I think that's healthy. I think staying away from doing the same thing over and over, pretty important. There we go. A little bit in here. Please bring the aqua back. Yeah, absolutely. Do you mean the, when you say the aqua, do you mean the turquoise we covered up through here, Vic? Because of course we can. That's now underline the picture, but we can always make another appearance. Here we go. Thanks, Serena. Alright. A little bit in here. Lola, what's my accent? It's New Zealand. So you're listening to a Kiwi accent. The land of the long white cloud, Aotearoa. That's what they say. There we go. Big, long brush strokes. Where are we going to go to next? Me here finishing Tuesday, 7 p.m. Alright, well, welcome. Good to have you here. And we've got King Charles, you reckon? That'd be pretty wild. Just bring you guys back out again there. Over here. Excuse me, grabbing you in the face. Perfect. It's funny too, because it frames differently on different people's screens. So I try and make sure there's a little bit on both sides to work with. But, you know, it is what it is, mate. Hello, Elizabeth. How are we doing? You've caught us in the middle of a big old portrait. I think we're going to move on to... Where's my blacks? Do I have blacks? I do. Oh, Thanks, Wide Spaces USA. I've got a soft spot for wide spaces in USA. Love driving through Utah, Wyoming. Loved Yellowstone. Possibly the greatest national park on planet Earth, I thought. Yosemite. That was wild. I was about to go to sleep. Now you're stuck here again, Elizabeth. Oh no. And to think you needed sleep. Oh well. Too bad. Maybe tomorrow. Let's get a little bit more in here. Build it up through here. Down here. Up in here. Fantastic. We're back on the blacks. Doing a little bit of defining in amongst these layers. It's all good. It's not the end of the world. There we go. What's my favourite artist? You woke up at 5:30 a.m. Wow. That's doing it late. My favourite artist is definitely Van Gogh. I like Van Gogh. I think it's a pity that his story had to go the way it did. But at the same time, I do love his artwork. I love the fact that even in isolation of no one else liking it, he was still 100% addicted to making it like that. I think that's really important. Even if no one else believes in what you're doing, provided you think it's right, or you believe in it, you've got to pursue it. There we go. Yes, it is. Well done, love. That's really impressive. It's exactly what it is. It's ancient Barbie. You've nailed it. Don't apologise. You've whacked the ball clean out of the park. Okay. Still working here on the blacks. Coming down here, dropping in here, down through here, a little bit there, straighten off there, and then down through here. Lovely. Perfect. And then the last little bit there. Perfecto. I'll just call her Granny Barbie. I like that. Granny Barbie. See how we're just disorientating that face a little bit with these blacks. Moving the colours into bigger swirls of colours too. Big, aggressive movements here occurring in this painting. And this black is going to consume all these other colours in its pursuit of doing that. Black's so incredibly obnoxious like that. Insanity and genius, Van Gogh had both, don't you think? I never knew him, couldn't comment. But I do love the way that we all can look at his art in a small way in some small way, appreciate that it's something beautiful. I think that's pretty cool. Was he insane? Well, he cut off his ear and a few other things. Was he a genius? Depends. If he was here today, would he still be a mastermind? Who knows? The most important thing about him, genius, insane, whatever, is that he thought he'd stumbled on something beautiful and he pursued nothing but it. So, kudos to Van Gogh. Can't argue with that. There we go. I'm going to bed now. Elizabeth, you just showed up. What are you doing? You can't just run off to bed. Kidding, kidding. Definitely, but don't let me keep you up for ages like last time. Go get some sleep. As long as you don't actually sit there and doom scroll straight after you jump off the live, then you've made a big mistake. And hello! Good to have you here, Jaden. Welcome from Chicago. There we go. Beautiful. Just absolutely sniped this whole picture with blacks, but it's okay. It's okay. Big, long, flowing black lines. There we go. Lovely. He missed my zinger. Sorry, Chad. Let me come on back and see if I can find it. I wonder if the guy who coined the phrase one-hit wonder came up with any other phrase. That's actually, Chad. Sorry, mate. That justifies bringing up again because honestly, that's. I reckon that's your best one. I reckon that's fire. That is absolute fire. Do we reckon the guy who coined the term one-hit wonder came up with any other phrases? What do we think? I posted the questions I was going to ask. Whammy! Did you post them in the chat here? Or... well, that's acceptable, Elizabeth. Alright, we'll let that happen. But, wait, what's the questions? Sorry, sorry, Whammy. Let me just dabble in here real quick and capture this little momento. Beautiful. Beautiful. I just want you to know that you're my favorite girl. I'm going to bring in another one here too, because I've got so much black left over. Now I don't want it to go to waste, so give me a moment. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Here you go. Hello, Lizzie. How are we doing? Oops. When did you realise painting was my passion? I think it's always been my passion. The point of realisation was the realisation that I could make a living out of being a painter. And that I think that came... And the point that I think I was most excited about that when I thought, not only can you make a living out of doing your passion, but you can make the world a better place at the same time. I don't feel like I was ever doing that with the job that I used to have. And so, don't get me wrong, my job was fulfilling, but I think deep down we all want to help out people and make the world a better place in our own way. And the best way I've ever found of doing that was through art. I felt like I could really connect with people and put forward joy and happiness through colour. And so I feel like we do that here. I feel like we do it pretty well. And through the art itself and where it ends up, I think that all is part of the same crazy little journey. Good morning, Gower. Hello, TikTok shop. Good to have you here. Liz, lovely to have you. I'm guessing this probably isn't Steve. No, right on Instagram. Whammy. Alright. I will get back to you, Whammy. Sorry for taking so long. I think I saw those questions as well. Sorry for not replying straight away. I will definitely do that. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just trying to find... I had a picture here. But I need to find it. Dun, 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 dun. Unless it's just on my phone. It shouldn't be on my phone at all, actually. It should be only on here. In my, if you download an image from the internet, if I have a downloads folder, download, see these photos, boom, 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 no, 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 faces, here we go, people, it should be in people somewhere, no. So I have to try and find this by scrolling through endless images. Life's so hard sometimes. Oh, sorry, missing comments, guys. Another question, how long did it take to find your style of painting? I think your style of painting is always changing. I don't think it's ever a fixed thing. If it was a fixed thing, buying paintings off someone would be a far less appealing prospect. I think that every painting needs to be in some way a stage of your journey and constantly receiving augmentations of your experience and your current position in life, etc. And that's why early works by artists are always fun, late works are always different. You're on a journey, and you have to be, because like I say, repeated art is craft. We don't want to be doing craft, we want to be making art. So it has to be unique. So every picture has its own little unique challenges and differences that set it apart from the other ones. Like at the moment with Barbie in this one, we're working with quite a different kind of paint stroke. I'm doing them longer, thicker, with soft-bodied acrylics. That's going to make the, here we go. Here's our face. Voila. Fun face, this one. It's an old lady. It's an old lady, but the search I used to get it was done through AI. So AI depicted what this face looks like. I asked AI to give me a face of a lady that was aged with lines of wisdom. So we've got some cut lines in the face here, and we've done it very, very rough and dry. So now we're going to go over the top with wet paint. Wet paint in abundance. And what this is going to do is it's going to exacerbate all those intense colours that we've already added. Oh, yes. There we go. Zoom in a little bit more. Is that where we want it? That is exactly where we want it. Done. Save photos. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on that face, guys. So a bit more of a zoom on this panel. Ooh, that's a good question, Lizzie. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Do you reckon we explode the colour palette in all directions, or we chill out? Handsome lad from Nashville, and you'll be able to pick. Well done, JB. Well done. Imagine if you did come on the stream one day and actually was you, because AI heard that and wanted to make a funny joke. Pretty funny. I kind of like the difference with this one with less colours. Alright, let's use less colours. Let's use big wavy strokes and way less colours. Here we go. Ooh. There we go. Big strokes. So we're spotting shapes and we're adding them. One shape after the next. There we go. And up in here. They're going to dry out fast, so we'll keep that movement in them. It looks raw and dark. It is right now. But look, give this wetter paint a chance to land on the canvas and see if it changes it in a way that adds more wisdom, positivity to the piece. And we'll see if we can work in the realms of a far more constricted colour palette. So you would say painting for you is more feeling and somewhat an expression of your current mind state. Yes, but I think in the same way sport has a feeling aspect to it. And your performance in both rock climbing, soccer, rugby, tennis is definitely also a reflection of your current mind state. So I think anything you put out into this world in a physical way is a reflection of your current mind state. It can't not be, because I've entered this world through your mind state. So yes, but I don't believe that's novel. And then on top of that, I think every time you make work, you change a little bit because of how the work was made. And since you changed a little bit, what happens? The next one has to be different. You couldn't relive high school, for example. High school was high school because of the experience that you went into it with. Zero. You're like, oh, I wish I could do that again at that age. But you couldn't do it again. Even if you got teleported back there, you'd be so very, very different. Thanks, Desert Rose. Right, and let's get a little bit through here. Thanks, Victoria. Appreciate you. Here we go. Victoria's like, if I do it every now and again, then Seb won't use that line. That drives me absolutely crazy. There we go. Mine's there. That's what I'm after. And then over the top here. Hello, Johnny. How are we doing? You've caught us in the middle of a giant face. Now, well, before Victoria would post that handy little line there every now and again, I would be saying, guys, if you want to connect more. But now Victoria's saving my bacon. Here we go. Last little bit of black up through here. So dry on this canvas. No wonder the brush strokes were so wet, so crusty on the surface. So now that we're coming in here with these more fluid, wet strokes, we have to keep a lot of paint on the brush because it's constantly wanting to stop and be jarred by it. Here we go. Here we are. I feel like you need current expression for a template. Your current expression for a template. I don't fully understand the thought, but I do find that the first thing you always want to think about when you're making art is connectivity. And I say connectivity because a lot of the time we can get so lost in our own little journey, we forget that the purpose of making something and actually having it exist as an end product is to connect with other people. And so yes, go on your own journey, but always be thinking, how can I use this experience of art, this raw, chaotic experience, to make something that someone else could look at and connect with me through? How can I make that happen? And I think sometimes as artists, we can sometimes get lost in our own little journey, and the end result may be harder to connect through. Now that's okay, your own journey is fantastic, but the end result, the journey was for you, the end result is for the viewer to feel what you feel. Jeepers, I'm missing some comments here. I'm going way too slow on myself. It's an iconic line, but I'm more than... Thanks, Victoria. John, this is a new one. Well, not a new one. This is an old one, and we're just changing up a little bit, throwing around some thick lines of paint. So it was originally done very, very dry, and now we're adding in some thicker lines to it. Is there a day you don't paint? The answer to that is yes. In fact, I shouldn't be painting today. This is very naughty of me. This is me procrastinating. I've got to go downtown. I'm meeting with a photographer, and I've also got to post off some works. But before I left, I just want to do a little bit of something for me. So I'm here with you guys, because this is what rejuvenates me. Paint on a canvas. Self-portrait would be fun. Like I say though, there's so much in this world that we could capture. So many things we can paint. So many amazing subjects. So many people with incredible inspiration to see things come to life. Arguably, the most unnovel thing for me personally is my own face. I want to see something else. See this world. All the beauty it's got, the colour it's got, all the things that make it what it is. Well, Jay, no. It's been taking some time. I've been trying to get it all set up. And I've got all the files onto it that I need. All the Photoshops and the TikToks and the Instagrams and the Google Chrome, blah, blah, blah. But I don't have the files that were on the old computer. So I need to get that off them tonight. And then we'll be away. Cheers, Taylor. John, this one here, it's a portrait of no one. That's why it's really interesting. This was generated as a portrait via AI. So the actual face itself doesn't exist. And we're experimenting with making a face that AI believes is the face of wisdom. And so we started off with a lot of really harsh lines, but like it was pointed out, the harsh lines went to quite a dark place. It didn't have that feeling of calm. Not that wisdom needs to be calm, but that's what I want this wisdom to be. I want to get an element of peace inside the wisdom. So we've come back to it and we're dabbling over it with an element of calm. Here we go. And we're doing that by swapping from this dry brush style to more of a wet, fluid approach. There we go. Beautiful. Ha! No, no, no. No, you won't recognize this lady. She does not exist. Well, actually, does she exist everywhere? simultaneously as AI's version of what wisdom would look like? Or does she exist nowhere? Old lady with wisdom. And also the skin pigment's a fascinating thing to be working with as well. So I missed that there. What's my favourite painting? My favourite painting? It changes all the time. Just like my favourite colour, it's never the same. But my favourite painting would be... The problem is when you choose a favourite painting, you put it on a pedestal above other paintings, and it's not fair. There's different reasons to love different paintings. There's some paintings from Picasso's blue phase that I love. I love them in their simplicity. I think there's a beauty that's captured in such very, very, very few lines. I feel like the less lines, the more ability you allow for people to connect with it. Like, the more craft that goes into it, the more you lose a little bit of that expression, that wild little bit of passion. And Picasso had some wild little bits of passion in some of his works. And in his blue phase. But it's hard to say. Aha! Okay, you see the face of wisdom, that's good. That's good. There's a very crinkled forehead here. We'll capture that too. And there's a look of concern on her face as well. And so one of the things we're going to work with here is trying to figure out how to soften that. And John, also, I got your NFT wallet, and I love the fact that you went to the effort to start up a wallet, so I gave you my NFT. So we minted 3 NFTs, and I thought, you know what? If someone's going to go to the effort to create an NFT wallet to receive one, the least they can do, the least I can do, is give them my one. So, you've got one now. You want to get into painting. What should you study to get an understanding? You should study. You ready for this? I think you should study philosophy and art history. Because at some point in your art career, regardless of your talent, your fame, your wisdom, your age, your whatever, your intelligence, whatever, you're going to ask yourself one day in front of a canvas, why? And that why is going to make you freeze in a blocked state, just like a runner's block, where you're frozen and you can't move forward. You're going to remain in that state in perpetuity. And if you do want to continue painting, what will happen is you'll just endlessly make the same work over and over. If you made flowers, you'll ask yourself why, break, and keep making the same craft of flowers over and over and over. But if you can answer that why, then you'll move on to the next phase of yourself on your artistic journey, and you can go further than you ever thought would be possible, in ways that you never thought would be possible. And so, why philosophy? Because that's going to give you the best tools to answer that why, if, and most definitely when it comes. And then the next thing is art history. Because a good way to prepare for your own answer is to understand what other people made theirs. Your one won't be the same. It won't match Andy Warhol or Damien Hirst or Van Gogh or Monet. But you'll have your own reason why you get up in the morning and you pursue a creative craft. Maybe you've got this little dream that maybe through it you can connect with people on a deeper level than you've managed to so far in your life. Maybe you believe that actually there's a part of you which if the world saw it, the world could be a better place. Maybe you just believe through a visual format of drawing or painting that you can make something which just makes people a little bit happier every single day by a little bit. Or Maybe just something inside you says, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and you know what? I don't need to understand it. These are fine reasons, but you need to be prepared, because the moment that you question yourself and ask yourself why, that's coming. If you're a creative, that's coming. So hard skills, yes, get hard skills. They're important. Without them, you'll fail. Get the hard skills. But realize that understanding yourself is going to be the make or break of your art career. Watercolor stickers. Thanks, John. Appreciate you, by the way. And philosophical breakthrough. Well, that's just it. I think I can speak from experience. When I used to paint and I didn't know why I painted, I was good at it in school. And since I was good in school, everyone said I should paint more. And so I did paint more. And then I went to university to paint. And I kept painting. And then I got sick of painting. And I didn't want to paint anymore. So I started painting less and less until I stopped. And the reason why is I started standing in front of canvases and asking myself that, why am I doing this? And all of a sudden, my whole craft had become formulated around what other people thought I should be making, and I would make it to make them happy and to make me fulfilled in the fact that I can make something that someone else can get satisfaction from, even if it's grueling to make and boring to make. What a terrible, terrible way to go about it. Until I actually went through my own process, my own studies, learned that actually, okay, this is why I should get in front of a canvas. This is why I should care. This is why every brushstroke should be imbued with passion. This is how, through this crazy little process, I can in my own little way make the world a better place. Once I understood that, suddenly a white canvas went from something that a lot of people find insurmountable and the most scariest part of the whole work, that became the easiest part. You mean you've put opportunity in front of me? The opportunity to fulfill the why that I've come up with for myself, and I get to attack it right now? That's not scary. That's very, very exciting. I love looking at empty canvas. I didn't used to. A lot of people still don't. But with an understanding of why you're in front of that canvas in the first place, man, it gets easy. Oh, it gets easy. Gate. Sorry, Tony. And go to the... Oh, cheers, Jay. Yes, indeed. Your view on Impressionist painters? My same view on all painters. They're doing it for the right reasons. If they are, absolutely go for gold. And the accent is bada bing, Kiwi. You're listening to a Kiwi. And we're letting a little bit of the form in this picture burn. I'm not afraid to let the form burn. We can always bring form back. But we need to capture some of that little wild expression. Hey Deo, how are we doing? This is acrylics, but they're going to behave, who's heard this before, behave like oils. I want that flow, that smoothness, that intensity of the pigment, and I get that from soft-bodied acrylics, extenders and transparency gels and a whole bunch of little mix and match, which means it dries fast enough to rework it each day with another thick coat of paint. Most seem to make it one-on-one. Yeah, they do. Painting is... Cheers, Ellen. Painting is something that is usually viewed as a very, very lonely endeavour. Something that a lot of people have imbued as something that needs to be done not only by yourself, but in a state of, dare I say it, in a state of pain. If you're not in pain and you're sacrificing, you can't be an artist. What a ridiculous thing to not only think for yourself, but actually to pass on to new generations, to children to paint. If you want to be an artist, seclude yourself from the world. Hurt yourself, sacrifice, go through a grueling process, and maybe you'll create something of mild beauty. Unbelievable. Art at a fundamental level is about connection. However you can seek that connection through your art, that is the most pure form of it. Whether it exists for hundreds of years and people look at it and they feel a little bit of something that connects them with the artist through that time and distance, or whether through the actual making of the art, people come together, connect, and enjoy a process that's very, very primal, very raw, very real for a human, rudimentary. That's okay. But in a lonely endeavour, how can you transpose joy onto a canvas in solitude for hours and days and months and years on end? How are you going to capture that joy, that love inside the canvas? See, that's where it becomes a give-take relationship here. On one hand, I'm making art. On the other hand, I have you guys, all 126 of you, here with me. Now that I'm not alone, there's a team of us doing this together. Suddenly, instead of me trying to bring something out from within to transpose onto the canvas to vitalize it, we can all do that together. We can make art as a shared journey. That wasn't possible. Not easy in the past. Not easy. And probably truly making art a shared journey where I can actually lose myself in a canvas and build it out layer by layer, go a little bit insane, go a little bit crazy, and just build it up through crazy amounts of paint at random times as the expression hits in all the ways we can create it. That's only really become possible since live streaming became possible. It's actually, arguably, one of the newest things we could be doing. Think of how satisfying it would be to watch a musician, not when they finish the song, but how fascinating would it be to watch a musician as they form the riffs, the melodies, and the songs, and the emotions that goes behind a tune. One of the most encapsulating video clips I ever watched on YouTube was Michael Jackson. And he was, they were asking him, how does he come up with a tune for his songs? And he's like, well, I just get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then all of a sudden he just created this beat and the song, and you could actually, for the first time in one of the songs, you suddenly wouldn't feel like you were listening to a finished product. You got brought on a journey with him to a song being made. Now that's beautiful. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're creating a shared journey. You're stopping me from going absolutely insane by myself, because honestly, if you do it by yourself, and you can, the artwork is going to have a soft, subtle loneliness to it. And honestly, if I was going to get a piece of work to hang on my wall, to be there for the next 20 years, for me to look at every day and get a little bit of joy from, like a little kick from a cup of coffee, that kind of joy, I want it to be something that not only the artist was able to fill with love, but in a little psychological way, he was able, or she was able, to transpose a bit of that love, happiness, and vitality onto the canvas for me to see, for me to love. That's what I would want from a piece of artwork. I did not watch it yet, and hello, Eva Dennison, welcome in. And did you dye your hair red? No, it's just occasionally the lights in the studio act up funny. I look like I've got red hair. It's not red. But I was getting told, actually, you'll love this too, John, because we could be dyed hair buddies soon. I was getting told that I should dye my hair with some tints, so I should get some blonde tints through it. Haven't done it yet, but we might. We'll see, we might. Here we go. Let's get some of this through here. So I think the responsibility of an artist at all given stages is to figure out a way to transpose that joy onto the canvas. If it's going to exist there for years to come, you have a responsibility to capture something beautiful. That's what I reckon. There we are. John's like, "Oh, you're entering my territory now. You can't come into this territory and feel like you're going to be toe to toe on match with me. You have no idea how much tints and changes I've done." Fair enough. I did get blonde tints once, so but I'm still learning. No to the hair, honestly, when it comes to hair, and when it comes to what you should do with it, you should do exactly what you feel like doing to make you happy. I guarantee that is as close as you'll get to the right answer that you can get. There we go. A little bit through there, a little bit through there, coming down there. What time is it? Going on 2 o'clock. I do have to dash soon, guys. So once we get full coverage on this one, your boy is going to scamper. But not just yet, not just yet. I did say to Lizzie, I've got way too much red left over. I got too excited. So we're not going to go on with the yellows. I'd go... Cheers, John. Excellent setting. I love the brown colour, native paint, Perdon. Alright, that's good. Well, I'm going to go on with a blue spliced in here now, which is going to completely overpower our yellows that we've added. I know it wasn't the plan. I'm sorry, Lizzie, but ooh, where are you? Which direction are you going in? No, change of plan. Alright, here we go. We're going to add a little bit. This might be good actually. Let's add this mud tone to it. And then what we'll do is after this goes on, we can bring back that yellow. Bring back that yellow to have a popping highlight effect. I like this. What we recommend organisations to donate to for painters. Honestly, the best way to support a painter, if you love a painter, is to donate direct to help them pursue their own craft, or to buy their artwork. That's always a great way to do it, possibly the best way to do it. Or, in my case, when I like to donate, I like to give it to a group that's, well, for me, they do a similar thing to what I want to do with paint. I like a group called Youthline here in New Zealand. And Youthline support mental health of adolescent teenagers. And I think that's really, really cool. And so, when I'm donating, it goes to Youthline. But, honestly, figure out whatever charity that you're passionate about, or movement that you're passionate about, and spend your time looking after them. Here we go. Oh, was that a little bit too low? It is, but that's okay. Cut that across there like that. Beautiful! Do I paint my hair too? I try not to. But I was at the barber shop yesterday, and guess what? The lady cutting my hair was like, she was like, "You've got green paint in your hair." So, and the gig was up. She figured out I was an artist. Those brain neurons of yours are really popping today, are they? Is that because the picture's coming along well? There we go. I'm going to send it into a darker colour palette. Although it's going darker too, what's fun about this is it's still remaining soft. Good way to have it. Dark yet soft. There we go. Beautiful. Given up on the actual... We had a face. but more important than the face, is getting those smooth lines of expression. There we go. Hello! How are we doing, guys? Now, I'm going to be around for, that's going to be 2 o'clock, so that'll give me, well, we can probably do. Let's see how we get on. Just thinking, because it's a school day, so when I head into town, I'll be battling through traffic. So I'm just thinking about what the best tactic is here. Here we go. And let's drag a little bit through here, and then, oh yes, now we're talking straight down this nose. Around. Did we cook it? No, we didn't not. Yes, bang. Okay, distorting the nose, but at the same time, landing some expressive colour. Don't be afraid to sacrifice detail for expression. I say this all the time. You can always bring back detail. Detail's in abundance. Everyone knows where detail goes. It's easy to get detail. You want a nose? We'll draw a nose. You want an eye? We'll draw an eye. You want a forehead, an arm, a leg? You can always get those things. You know what you can't get? Expression. Raw, wild expression. Start with that, build in the detail. How did I get involved with Youthline, John? Well, jeepers. How did I get involved with Youthline? On a charitable side, the way I got involved with Youthline, John, is I was asked to do a work for someone who was quite meaningful, but was no longer with us, of who Youthline does their best to try and help. And anyway, what I did was I said, I'm happy to do this project. I'll make this painting on one condition. That we get all the, well, 50% of it, so costs can be covered. We grab all of that, and we give that to Youthline. With the idea that maybe, if we do that, the next person in her shoes might be saved from a little act like that. So anyway, I got involved with them because had they got all the money, had they got the money that I'm now giving them sooner, maybe they wouldn't be a special person who I was painting in hindsight. Maybe they'd still be here. So the big lesson there is don't give money to charity once you feel motivated that, once something terrible happens, you give money to charity to think, all right, let's fix this problem going forward. Deal with it now. Take action now. Make big moves now. Look after people now. And hopefully, as the wheel of time turns, and you can sit down with your friends and family in a house or on a front porch with a water, a wine, a whiskey, a juice, a beer, whatever you take, and you can look around at all those people you're surrounded by and think that maybe the good you've done in the past stopped anything bad from happening, but allowed you all to be here today. Rather than wishing that something had happened earlier, that maybe you'd taken action earlier, saved a life, prior to it being too late. So, that's why I put my foot out and my arms out and everything I can put out for charity. Especially that one. Alright. Here we go. Right. But I think everyone's got their own reasons. So, I like to think that even though we're painting here and hanging out together and making a picture and I'm pursuing my dream as an artist, blah, 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 that hopefully by landing paint in this silly little way that we can have an impact on someone who has no idea what we're even doing here. but we can reach them through this ridiculous little process. And this is ridiculous, guys. This world's a crazy place. We've got people landing on the moon. We've got people digging deep under the earth, and we've got people thinking about populating Mars. And yet I have the audacity with you lot to sit here with a plate, a rudimentary tool like a brush, tubes of coloured liquid in little silly dinky containers, and a 2D surface, and we can create something. But what we're doing right now is we're transposing human expression. We're capturing it in a moment, and that moment can go on a wall, in a gallery, in someone's house, and just like a coffee gives you a little kick every day, maybe something like this can give someone else a kick. And from that kick, we can help people. And that's pretty freaking cool. So that's what we do. Hello, Divine Vibe. Good to have you here. Cheers, Duran. Did I go to art school? I did go to art school. If you want all the details on that side of things, rather than me grabbing all the subscribers and giving them a big long yarn every time about the same stuff, jump on the link in my bio, and the full blurb about what brought me to here is all up there. Right. Now, bright colours. That's what we're adding now. Big old bright colours. There we go. Gotta be careful with these bright colours now though, because they are going to try. Hello from Australia. They're going to try and mix into those blacks and reds that I've made, and I don't want them to. I want them to sit pretty. So that's going to be the play here. You dropped your headphones in salsa. Well, that's terrible news. I hope they still work. There we go. They can go down there. Beautiful. Big, thick lines. So you're going to make this picture now. Here we are. Fantastic. They still work. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. Let's get that there. Throw that over the top. Throw that down there. Throw that there. Go for a little bit of a squint in this eye. That's okay. There we go. The things you want to do to this painting to impress me. Honestly, at the end of the day, this painting doesn't have to become anything. It's not its job. All we have to do is just trust that if we apply layer after layer, coat after coat, moment after moment, that even if the painting heads backwards, even if it goes wrong, and on any particular day every stroke lands wrong, that while making it, we enjoy ourselves. That's so important. So important. We constantly put our craft first and ourselves second. But if you're transposing expression, it's a very, very different game. Not to put yourself first, but to remember that you need to be in the right mind frame to produce something beautiful. Because that beauty is going to come through in the honesty that it's made with. The person who did put it together, just like a child or a father puts the child's pictures on the fridge, you know what made those pictures beautiful? Not that the child spent an hour on it and drooled over it or whatever. It's that the child had a pure and honest feeling when it made it. That it felt the joy of creating something. It's usually a picture that says mum, dad, me, dog. Whatever it is. Live keeps freezing. Oh, I'm sorry, Divine Vibe. But I think we're attracted to those images, ridiculous as they sometimes are, that our child gives us, because they're raw, they're real. The child loved every second of making it, otherwise it wouldn't exist. And that's pretty cool. So, As an adult, you've got the same responsibility. Don't get yourself caught up and trying to make something or being miserable. Find a way to be happy. Find a way to transpose some real, honest positivity onto a canvas so the world can look at it and get some of that infectious happiness. Let it ooze out of the way you make a painting. It doesn't need to be the most awesome, crazy work of craftsmanship that ever existed, but it does need people to look at it and say, that's fun. That's made my day a little bit better. Do that over and over again, and you'll be on the right track. Where's the nose bone? Honestly, we're lucky there's any face here at all. It's completely irrelevant to what we're up to. The face got completely destroyed by these longer, thicker lines. We will come back, probably with Indian ink, and define features. But right now, totally irrelevant. We have softened the entire face, and that was what we set out to do when we started painting today. The face had a dark complexion to it, an overall intense impact. It's not what we wanted. We wanted something more real, more relaxed, more welcoming. He looks sad. Yeah, there is this little bit of a sad gaze there. More importantly, we've done a fantastic job with the asymmetry within the face. So I'll show you the face we're working off, so you can get an idea here. This is the face. So we've got this asymmetry there, some intense lines on one side, some bright white on the other, and we're just being very, very relaxed. Big fat lines to start with. There we go. Who is it? You'd have to ask AI that question. AI generated this face. We are just recreating it. So I asked AI for an old wise woman. This is the picture it gave me. And we are bringing it to life. That's our job. That's what we're doing here. Right, let's get a bit more of this here. There we go. And let's chuck a bit more up through here. But we're not far off reaching that point where we've completely overdone the amount of paint that we can put on this. That moment is fast approaching. There we go. Let's just slash this through here. Get these last little bits in. Here we go. There we go. Get him through there. Light. Light. There we go. And then let's splash a little bit down here. Right. Now I'm going to take the last of that tan and I'm going to chuck that on. And hello Lee, how are we doing? Good to have you here. We're going to chuck the last of this tan onto Barbie. That's the plan over here. And sorry Victoria, I know those pinks are fun. We've already attacked it with black, but now we're going to come over the top and mute it again. Mute it with tans. The face is going to be completely distorted here, guys. We're pretty much going to lose the face. Don't lose the face, we're losing the face. The reason why is there's no depth to it. To actually make it fun, I want to get that depth and intensity in there. It's dry brushed, so let's do some loose, wet strokes over and over again until we start to actually get that Barbie face feel through layering. But honestly, we're about to lose the current expression that she's got. Maybe. Or we might improve it off the bat. I'm just preparing you guys for the worst. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, we've been live 90 minutes. That's exciting. Look at us go. Group of little wildcats. I'm just trying to find that Barbie picture. Again, there's just so many pictures on my phone here. iPad, sorry. Dun 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 dun. Where are you, Barbie? Okay, now the app's just on the fritz. There we go. Barbie can't be too far back. Oh my lord. Jeepers Marco. And I can paint you, not right now, but you can leap out via the link in the bio. And maybe we'll paint you. Who knows? Barbie! Here we go. Found her. Voila! That was tougher than it should have been. There we go. Got Barbie here now. Looking lovely. Now, tan. Big, thick licks of tan. Good night, Barbie. Distorting time now occurs. Let's lose some of those naughty, silly undercoats in favour of getting some big, moving colours transposed onto the surface. Losing the face a little bit. It's okay. Just get some more fluid strokes in here. You can always bring it back. Like I say, detail is the easiest thing to get. The hardest thing to get is the actual chaotic expressive strokes. So don't ever try and resist those. You can never have enough of those, actually. And let's put a little bit in here. There we go. Tan colour, blossoming over here, coming out through here, and down through here. Perfect. Down in here. There we go. And down through here. Ooh, yes. Isma. Yeah. So this is what you get. These are our two AI pictures. This is what you get when you combine, when you tell AI to give you a picture of 85-year-old Barbie. And you know what? Isma is certainly probably a very good embodiment from Emperor's New Groove of an 85-year-old Barbie. I think that's actually not a bad shout. Let's get right in there though. There we go. She's an icon. She is an icon. Pardon me. Now these tans go into the hair a little bit here. It's adding a little bit of life, but like I said, I don't want that in abundance. I only want just a little bit to stop the grey from just being blah. I want to get a little bit of life. There we go. And up through here. Down here. There we go. Oh yes. Now see how those big licks are actually changing the overall complexion of Barbie. Giving you just a little bit more sass. But more life, vitality to her skin. Big fan of that. And the pearls through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. And then 2 more here. There we go. Lovely. And then one on their lonesome. One lonesome pearl right there. Beautiful. Okay. And then down through here. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay. Lovely. Coming across here, let's grab that colour, make it a little bit darker. And we're going to combine in turquoise. Here. This is what we're after, team. A little bit of turquoise, a little bit of tan. It's a bit of a messy colour. That's okay. That's okay. It's not actually perfect turquoise in the background, but it does pave the way for perfect turquoise later in the piece. So we're just going to keep adding this in. Big, thick lines of it. See how that actually does have a slight turquoisey feel, but it's well overpowered by those tans. That's okay. That's okay. Our goal here, our goal with touching the canvas at the moment, is to mute a few of those colours. So you'll see that our tan and our turquoise have a far more relaxed, approachable, almost like a house paint feel to them, which is a far cry from the intensity of the pinks that we just had. But that house paint feel is going to make them more approachable before we come back with the maybe the final set of highlights, maybe not yet, we'll see. We'll see. There we go. And then down through here. Voila. Voila. And then down through here. Lovely. A little bit of turquoise in the hair to get us going. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I need. And down in here. Still doing those big, long, fluid strokes as well. Not letting them actually subdue themselves into a smaller shape. I want big movements. Here we go. Fantastic. Thanks, Raylan. Appreciate you. Alright. And a little bit more through here. Now bear in mind, these may never leave the studio. They both may never leave. It's just because we're warming up, we're using paint. Maybe after several layers, we'll build into something that we fall in love with, which will then say, yep, that now has permission to stand amongst the other ones. But at the moment, we can't expect these to become something. Otherwise we limit our play, our ability to grow and to create something new and special. Without play, what's art? Will quickly become craft. And craft's all good, but craft's not what we're after. Alright, now, there should be another face here somewhere. Let me track it down. I really need to archive these better because I've just got an absolute mess here of videos and photos bouncing and cascading over each other. Here we go. Right. Down with you, Barbie. A bit vintage and glam. That's fun, Andy. Also, good to have you back, Andy. Hope you're looking after yourself. On to our next one. Incoming with a big messy one. And welcome to the team, I'm Pray. Good to have you here. William, appreciate you. A little bit more paint. I think we'll go for another 20 minutes. We'll see how we go. Can I paint a drag queen? That would be fun. But we've got another portrait. Can I paint kittens? We can paint kittens. We can paint all sorts of things here. The world's our oyster. So, let's chuck this one up. This wild, crazy excuse for a painting. Up you come. Here we go. There we are. Perfecto. Now let's actually zoom you out a little bit there. There we go. How's that positioning? Sorted. Alright. Okay. Big, crazy face. Let's make it happen. Just bring it down a little bit here, team. There we go. You can see my messy little paint palette. And now this was given to us as well. Who's this? This is just literally, if you type into DALL-E, the AI robot that generates pictures, this is Old Man Laughing. And I love AI's take on these sort of things. This one's quite quintessential. This is our man here. Old Man Laughing. We've done one coat, given him about, jeepers, maybe, how long? 30 minutes? 30 minutes. 30 minutes so far. He's looking pretty crazy and pretty wild. Now, I'm going to bring some normality into him. Probably through these same tan colours and a little bit of black. Ooh, dare I say it, a little bit of blue. Thanks, I'm prey. Down there, and clear painting medium. I love this stuff. This is the good stuff. Extends the paint, makes it flow. You don't have to use it. I like it. There we go. Fresh start. My hair is actually optical illusion. It's not that colour. It's actually, it looks red. It is not red. That's a trick of the light. There we go. Let's capture that. Now, big flowing brush strokes here. Oh yes. And around here. This is his dome. Actually sticks out a whole lot, so we'll capture that. There we go. Biden. It's not Biden, but in fact, you know what? Maybe when I searched told the AI to give me Old Man Laughing, the AI did think, alright, Joe Biden. But I'd put that in the unlikely basket. I think it's a generic build up of a whole bunch of faces. I don't think he's as old as Biden either. He looks like what they've come up with here, probably in the realms of, jeepers, how old would I say he was? I reckon this guy would be not too far into his 60s, if even. The weatherman. Today we've got some expressive gales coming through the North Island, with a little burst of vitality coming in here to the south. I don't think it's my style. What type of paint? Acrylics, soft-bodied acrylics. So the current paint on this canvas, you notice it's a little bit drier, is heavy-bodied acrylics. And so now we're splicing over the top with the soft bodies. Why are we splicing over with soft bodies? Well, it's not always recommended because you get too much texture to bounce over. But I like that. It means we don't just lose the heavy-bodied ones, but they'll leave their impact on the canvas long after. There we go. Eyebrow. Very thick eyebrows on our gentleman here. There we go. What inspires me to do paintings? Honestly, I think inspiration comes from the process itself. I was saying this yesterday. I think a lot of the time we try and get inspiration before we stand in front of our project, and that's backwards. We actually need to go to our project, motivate yourself to do what you love. In my case, paint. And then once I'm in front of it, and painting, motivation brings you in front of the canvas, not inspiration, motivation. And once you're in front of it, and you start creating layer after layer, that's when inspiration takes hold. That's when you lose yourself in a beautiful process. And each stroke inspires the next one. And you're lost. Lost in a work until you get it far enough that it's too wet to continue on. Or you'll turn the whole thing to porridge. Or so lost in a work that before you know it, it's completed. That's inspiration. So what inspires inspiration? The inspiration to apply a paint stroke is inspired by the paint stroke before it. And so on and so on. What gives you motivation? We were talking about that earlier. Motivation comes from the idea that if you paint, that I could use this medium to make other people in the world happy, that I have a better chance of connecting with other people in the world through painting than anything else I've experienced so far in my life, that I'm naive enough to believe that random paint cascading over a surface has the ability to make someone's life better, that you could in a small way get a kick from a painting on your wall, in the same way you get a kick from a coffee in the morning. I'm naive enough to think that's the case. I think that the right artwork in someone's home, or the right artwork in my home, can be as effective psychologically on my being as a cup of coffee. That's what I reckon. Fantastic. I hope you do, Lauren. I really hope you do. That would be fantastic. I think a lot of us, what happened? We got a finger put in our face at some stage, or slowly learnt that actually painting wasn't for us. Not that painting wasn't for us, maybe creativity wasn't for us. How many times does someone say, oh, I wish I was a creative. It just didn't turn out for me. Well, a creative had nothing to do with a career. Some people make creativity a career. It didn't need to be. Van Gogh never had a career as a painter, yet he's the greatest painter of all time. He never had a career as a painter. He only sold one or two of them. Monet had to have other jobs on the side. The best painters of all time couldn't make money as painters. Da Vinci, the man who did the Mona Lisa, didn't paint full time. He did the best painting in the world. Did not paint full time. He prided himself as an inventor, and he got jobs, or kingdoms would pay him to be their inventor and come up with catapults and things like this. He wasn't making enough from the painting game. The point of this is, whoever said you had to, if you want to paint, you have to make a career out of it. You shouldn't paint or give up on your creativity and follow other things in life because you don't have what it takes to become a professional painter. Well, to that person, so even Mr. Dali, not Salvador Dali, sorry, Da Vinci. Even Da Vinci a sidekick. No, it's not Biden. It's this one here is literally just ask Dali, the AI the image generating AI, for a picture of an old man laughing. And this is what it'll give you. I wanted to paint laughter. I love the way in a face the wrinkles form when someone laughs. I think there's just something so beautiful about it. And I think the biggest medal you could ever get in life is those wrinkles on your face that show you laugh a lot. What a pleasure to have crow's feet that skyrocket upwards and dimples and wrinkles up your face here that show that you pull big smiles everywhere you go. What an absolute treat. And so with paint, you can capture those so elegantly and so much fun. And in that sense, that's an absolute honour, because when you capture the wrinkles of a laugh, you're capturing thousands upon thousands of laughs. And think about that for a second. Let that sit, because that's pretty cool. In my mind, that's pretty cool. Here we go. A little bit more in here, and down here. Alright. What's our time at? 2:30. Guys, I can be here for another 10 minutes, and then your boy needs to dash. I can't be late for this photographer, and I do have to shower before I go. Can someone give me a heads up though? Oh, I should definitely wash my hair. I'm gonna wash my hair. There's a temptation just to leave it, but if you do that, no, I better wash it. Can I paint Queen Elizabeth? Possibly. And how did I paint this? Well, I started with good intentions. I hung out with you guys. We hammered 20 minutes on it the other day, and now I've done about 10 minutes today. But the key here is not to get hung up on time. Mental energy, clarity. When you approach your artwork, have the right attitude. By God, the amount of artists that I talk to or I ask for advice, who when I ask them, when you approach a canvas and you touch it, what's your attitude? And it's one of two things. It's, oh, I hope I don't screw this up. Or it's, this is going to be terrible. No rugby player or soccer player or NFL player amped himself up for success in a game to then walk out in the field going, man, I hope I don't screw up. Like, excuse my language. They walk out there and go, I can do this. I may not win, but I can give it my best. Painters need to approach canvases in the exact same way. And if you do that, you'll find you won't get hung up on little mistakes you make. This whole thing's a mistake. Every stroke's in the wrong place. Every single one of them. If you compare it to the image, not a single one is accurate to what the photo's showing us. But together, all ignoring their imperfections, all trying their best to express the subject, one after another one, an image is going to come out. Through these imperfect strokes in abundance, we find perfection, emergence. I'm not going to go into emergence right now, because I've only got 8 minutes, but there's a great video of it actually on YouTube. It's called Emergence. Creative name. It's by a channel called In a Nutshell. But basically, when the sum of the parts adds up to more, well, when the whole adds up to more than the sum of the parts. So, what does that mean? That means a whole bunch of imperfect strokes on a painting could make something that we consider perfect. I don't believe if you looked out the same place that Van Gogh looked out at Starry, Starry Night, that you would see Starry, Starry Night. But every stroke that he placed on that artwork had great intentions. So through those great intentions, every little cuspy, wispy little break, blah blah, paint stroke he added, we see Starry, Starry Night. And that's beautiful. Here we go. Down there, and out through there. Beautiful. And then out through here, wet strokes. The whole way out to the edge. Bada bing bum boom. And guys, thank you so much. We just hit 20,000. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty exciting. Here we go. What are we going to do down this line here? Let's get in here, come into the air there a little bit, down through here a little bit, and down here. Lovely. Into the head, down here, fantastic, and out this way. All the way out and down. Lovely. Alright team, you've got me for another 6 minutes. 6 minutes. What can we do in 6 delightful little minutes that we get here together? There we go. A little bit there, a little bit down here, and a little bit through here. Ba-da-bing-bum-boom. This is a really fun one, team. This is a bit more expressive and a bit more crazy than our normal ones. In a good way though. And that's where experimentation comes into its own. Without experimentation, we're doomed to be locked into the same craft over and over again. So this one here is an example of why being a little bit wild, a little bit silly, and a little bit crazy is always pretty fun. Now this is a is there a Kenyan guy who counts rice grains? That's fantastic. That's amazing. Is that actually a thing? That's wowza. I love that. I mean, not so good for him. Well, if he enjoys it, then yeah, fantastic. But how could you? Never mind. It's great. I love it. Have I eaten breakfast yet? Yes. I had kumara, which is New Zealand slang for sweet potato. And I had kumara and chicken. Leftovers from last night. I had dinner for breakfast. How crazy am I? There we go. Right down here. There we are. And then there's a jacket that sneaks in here. If I grab that line there, grab that across there and up there. Lovely. And down through there. That's there. And then this comes down through here. Oh yes. We're almost out of paint, team. But it's appropriately timed with our last 4 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, my little Venice. Everyone's just doing their best. And it's lovely to have you here. Here we go. Alright team, we are out of paint. When you say lovely, it's like a Kentucky accent. Well, that's an absolute thrill. Proud of myself. Okay, wild face. Trying to drip there, we'll get rid of that. Lovely. And when we come back to it next time, it'll be slashing it with another dark shade to get around this mouth. Probably some Indian ink actually, to really cut into these, yeah, Indian ink. This needs Indian ink next. Really fun shot though. Big bald head standing out here. Lots of negative space. And even though we haven't even painted a mouth or a nose on it really at all, and its eyes are shut, the wrinkles express joy. So, very, very fun. Love that. Anyway guys, I'm going to dash off. I'll be here to maybe tonight. We'll see how we go. But regardless, we will, yeah, go from there. Thanks. Thanks, Venice. That's lovely. Alright guys, thanks for joining. Victoria, if you're still here. Jay Smith, if you're still here. John, if you're here. I think we're all still here. Anyway, look after yourselves guys, wherever you are in the world. Hope you have a great day or a great night. If you're late at night and you're sitting there with this on your phone and you stop by for longer than you expected, but now you're about to go to sleep, please just turn the phone off. Don't go doom scrolling. You don't have to listen to a crazy Kiwi, but I get caught in that trap too. Just making you aware of it. If you don't want to go doom scrolling, here's the heads up. JB, all the best. Catch you later, guys. Look after yourselves. No? Fair enough, eh? You do you. You're a powerful, independent person, and you don't need to listen to crazy Kiwis. So I respect that. Alright, guys. Catch you later. Bye.